Hello, my name is Mendokusai, and this video is a small review about the Chicland dolls that were just released by Fairyland. I just want to specify that the chest on this one is sueded, so she can hold a few poses that normally they're not able to pose. I also have a mini ryeon head on it, and she's kind of MacGyvered so that she fits, because they haven't released the neck adapter for the minifig yet. So, I'm going to talk about posing a little and a little bit about the joints. As you can see, they can stand on one foot, but like the minifig, they are kind of a pain to stand on one foot because they have somewhat loose ankles, but even worse, they have rounded feet on the bottom, so it makes it a little more difficult and takes a lot of fussing. I'm just gonna warn you in advance. The wrists that are set up like the little fee and pookie fee, with the tabs so that they don't pop off randomly like the minifee hands do. They snap around a little more, the wrists do, and could use some sueding if you're into sueding your dolls. The legs, the knee is a separate piece and attaches to an O-ring that hooks onto a resin hook inside of the calf, and there is more elastic inside the calf that the foot hooks to, and it's for quick and easy calf removal. I'm assuming they're coming out with hooves and such. The girls don't have a joint here like the minifee do, but the boys do. The hips are set up similar to the minifee, except this is an entirely separate piece where it's kind of the opposite on the minifee. The legs come up and then this piece sits over that so that they can swivel. This one just has parts in it that keep this so that they can swivel around rather than the L-shaped notch hidden by the minifee joints. They still have a piece here, but it's also not like the minifee one. And it has a magnet, which I'm assuming is to make it easier to hold a standing position. There's a magnet hidden back here for tail. The feet like to magnet together like little fee and pookie fees do, which, you know, isn't really a problem, but whatever. The chest joint, I have to say, is a disappointment to me because in the promotion pics they had them laying on their stomach, but naturally they can't. There is a piece here. This is where the notch normally would be, where the minifees and all the other lines except for Pookies are able to catch here so that they can arch 90 degrees backwards. There is still a ledge on the back here so that they can straighten their back, but they can't latch on the front. But with sueding, she can hold it a little bit and lay on her stomach, but not nearly as well or as easily as she would if they could latch there. Let's see. They can still pose pretty well, but minifees pose better. mainly because of the chest joint. Sorry for the loud noises. She can still hug their knees, but just like the minifees, the legs come out of the joint, obviously. And I have another video on doing this pose, so don't ask me how to do it, please. She can do it a little better because the legs come out more since there's less jointing in here. She can't slouch forward very well, just like the minifees. Boys, I'm guessing, have the ability to slouch better, just like the minifees again. Also, it would be nice if they had a joint here. But, other than that, she can touch your face, blah blah blah, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. One thing I can say for these is that they can kneel a little bit better than the minifees do. Actually, a little better than all of the other ones can. The legs are a little more fussy though. But the other lines don't come down quite as far, but they come down a little further. Not a whole lot though. The high heel feet are next to useless for posing, so don't expect to be able to pose them standing on their toes. Not gonna happen. She can sit cross-legged, and since the knees have a little more range of motion, like when they're kneeling, she can sit cross-legged a little bit better. Not a whole lot though. I mean, it's not really some tremendous difference or anything. It's just a little bit. She can do that. She can sit swallow. Not tremendously well though, because without the joint at the hip, she still arches backwards slightly, and there's nothing to balance it out. Even with it latched in the back. And with the curve in the legs, the feet are raised up off the ground. That's about it, really. I can't really think of anything else to review about. The chest has a pretty good range of motion, but again, she is sueded. She is able to bend a little more than the minifees. The problem with the latch back here on the minifees is that when they're slouched forward, you can't really bend them to the side all that much without them popping off of the ledge. With the chic line, they have a little more give with that, so they can go to the side a little more when they're latched. The bodies are really pretty. The hands are really dainty. The posing otherwise is extremely similar to minifees. The legs remind me a lot of the little fig, which is nice because they have extremely nice posing. And overall, it's a nice body, but if you're just going for posing, for a, MST size doll, you're going to want to go with minifees rather than the C-line. But if you don't mind slightly less posing capabilities, they're just fine. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. I can't think of anything else to say, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope that it was helpful. Bye.